my nieces and nephews is hide and seek. And hide and seek is a lot of fun, partly because they're adorable when I play this game with them. But the other reason, to be honest, is I don't have to do very much. And part of the reason for that is, when my nieces and nephews start to hide, I'll count and I'll be doing this, and Stephen, Uncle Stephen, no cheating. I'm not going to cheat. Don't worry. But of course, they'll say, ready or not, here I come. And the best thing about playing hide and seek with young children is this: you don't have to do much because they don't like to hide. Once they've hidden, you announce that you're coming, all of a sudden you just have to wait 5 seconds and you'll see one of them. And I have to pretend like I don't see them, right? I'm like, I wonder where you could be. And then, of course, like another 30 seconds, which feels like an eternity to them, they jump out and they go, here I am, Uncle Stephen. And I'm like, wow, I would never have found you in the middle of the room. Ever. That's adorable. It's the best. I think sometimes, though, we treat God like it's a game of hide and seek. That we are looking for him, and in a way that he's not like a child, that he's hiding, and he's behind all these obstacles and these things that obscure him, that it's almost like it's impossible to find him. The reality is, though, as we celebrate Trinity Sunday, is our God is easy to find. He's just like a child playing the game hide and seek. He wants to be found. And even more, he doesn't even want us to look for him. He wants to find us. And so one of the beautiful things about this solemnity, this feast day, is our God has revealed himself to us. He's told us who he is. We hear that especially in our first reading from Deuteronomy. Moses is telling us from the very beginning. He says, look, Israelites, this is who God is. He has revealed himself to us. I saw him. I experienced him at the burning bush. He said, I am sent me. And he sent me to Egypt to free you from Pharaoh. And how did we know? How did God make himself visible? Through the signs and wonders. That he sent the 10 plagues and to set them free. And those miraculous signs and wonders were a sign that God is with Moses, that God is present, and God has won freedom for his people. Jesus is the same way. Jesus in our gospel, what do we hear over and over again, especially in the Gospel of John? I am. I am the bread of life. I am the good shepherd. I am the gate. I am as a callback to Moses. I am is with you. Jesus is making a divine claim. I am the incarnate God in your midst. And how do we know it? Well, Jesus does the same thing as God in the Old Testament does, by the signs and wonders. Jesus does all these amazing things. He says, so that you may believe that the Son of Man, a divine claim, that the Son of Man has authority. He says, rise, pick up your mat and walk. He heals the blind. He raises the dead. He heals those with leprosy. He does the signs and wonders to make visible the reality that he truly is God in their midst. And then the Holy Spirit. We celebrated last week Pentecost Sunday. The Holy Spirit coming upon the church, the birth of the church. And what does the Holy Spirit do? The same exact thing. How do the apostles prove that the Holy Spirit is with them? Through signs and wonders. Because what do the apostles do in the early church? The same miracles Jesus did. They heal people, and Peter even raises somebody from the dead. And those signs and wonders make present the reality that God, the Holy Spirit, is with them and with the church. See, I think the important thing for us to remember on this Trinity Sunday is we would never know the Trinity without Jesus. Jesus is the definitive revelation of who God is for us. Because it's through Jesus that we know that the Trinity is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, one God, three persons. I think the important message for us this morning is simple. For us to have the spirituality of Moses. And what I mean by that is Moses goes up the mountain. He brings these 2 stone tablets that are blank. They have nothing on them. And what does he do? He allows God to write the law on it. And why I think that's important is because when we approach God, we need to let go of any preconceived notions about what we think God is and let God tell us who he is. This is who I am for you. And just as important, I think we need to allow God not just to tell us who he is, but who we are and how we can live a flourishing life. You know, in the Old Testament, what does God do? He says, you want to be happy? Follow the commandments. What does Jesus say in the New Testament? You want beatitude? Love one another as I love you. What does the Holy Spirit say through the apostles in the early church? If you want to be happy in this life, then take on the fruits of the Spirit: gentleness, love, humility. This is what it means for humanity to flourish, to receive who we are from our God. This past week, I went to a graduation for the Catholic Central students and the West Catholic students. And at the West Catholic graduation, the salutatorian gave one of the best speeches I ever heard. And he talked about how God fulfills us and makes us truly and authentically happy. But he ended his speech with this. He said, the greatest gift we can give somebody is to love someone so much that we draw them into the mystery of God's love. What's the mission we receive today from Jesus? Go, therefore, and baptize them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Spirit. What's the mission that we have? What's Jesus encouraging us to do? To love everyone that we know, to share the gift of God's love so much that we draw them into this beautiful relationship with our God, who is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.